Any time in nature is valuable and meaningful. This can be as easy as sitting in your residential backyard and listening to the birds or watching insects in your garden or grass. When possible, though, venturing into provincial or state parks can give you the chance to hike and immerse yourself into an entire habitat, to get away from the city, cars, noise, and pollution, and breathe fresh air in the company of local wildlife and trees. For anyone in southern or eastern Ontario, Algonquin Park is synonymous with wild and nature. A true depiction of the Canadian northern climate and what so many would classify as classic Canada. An area that, as Canada and the planet warms, it holds the cold throughout winter thanks to its forested land and higher altitude. A day trip here can clear your mind and bring you back to center. As you drive north, the temperature falls. The trees transition from bare, dormant, deciduous trees to heavier coniferous, and the snow slowly accumulates. Unbeknownst to you, you are climbing an elevation aiding in this transition. Crossing through either of the park gates, they act as a light switch, turning your brain on to tune in to your natural surroundings, looking for moose or a fox. Instinctively driving slower, even though you're on the same piece of pavement as you were 30 minutes ago outside the park gate. There are a few pit stops along the way that allow for a perfect winter day trip into the park. A few holding iconic Algonquin, though also Canadian species. Pulling into the parking lot, you still encounter other people, but much, much less than the summer. Differently also, these people have a purpose. They are ready with snowshoes or a camera, armed and ready to complete their mission. There are much less day trippers from the city, simply looking to kill time and post photos to their social media. The cold and the snow has kept them at home, creating an invisible barrier that only allows the purposeful to cross through. It doesn't take long to encounter some of the species, like the newly named Canada jay, a bird that resembles and reflects so much of Canada's perceived values. It is hardy and requires proper winters to survive. They are one of the earliest nesting birds in Canada, rearing young while the snow is still flying and the temperature doesn't rise above freezing. They use a special saliva to coat food and cache it in nooks and crannies all summer long. Then, allowing nature's fridge to keep the food fresh for the entire winter, they use these stashes to feed their young until the warm weather arrives and provides more sustenance, also giving their young a leg up on the summer to age and grow at a better, more productive time, to gain strength and begin their own stash before the next winter arrives. They're friendly too. While they may not say sorry, they are eager to follow animals or people and are one of the largest birds that will happily fly to your hand for some food. Friendly, strong, and thriving in the cold, it's no wonder they recently officially had their name changed from Grey Jay to Canada Jay. Meanwhile, the cold winter has also awoke some other animals that are sparse and reclusive during the heat of the summer. The lack of food in the winter draws them to human activity. In a provincial park the size of Algonquin, this is only amplified. With so much space and so little human activity in this vast majority of the park, the small areas that are active with human presence are like a magnet, providing an unnatural yet incredibly valuable food source. There's no beautiful way to say that wildlife will find ways to capitalize on our waste, our garbage, and the cute and slinky pine marten is no exception. This arboreal weasel has to be one of the cutest animals in our climate. Even full grown, a quick glance at their welcoming face would lead you to believe they were looking for a cuddle on the couch, like your favorite lapdog. This couldn't be further from the truth, but their looks encourage human affection. Brought in with the treat of human-created waste, they also target our bird feeders for prey. Lured in with excess food, the martens will find prey in birds, rabbits, and rodents. A specialized hunter of the trees in the summer, they convert to adapt in the winter. A special matinee that Algonquin provides a free front row seat for. Thanks, Algonquin. After the theater, a winter hike cannot be passed up. While in the right spot, the bright sun can make the minus 10-degree weather feel warm. The winter doesn't let go of its firm grip on the park. While in the shadows of the forest, the frost searches for open skin and poorly insulated areas, longing for a chance to creep in and nip at your enthusiasm for the outdoors. Our wildlife is equipped for this naturally, but we fail in this area. Our advancements in technology has afforded us the chance to fight back, but even with the best of gear, the winter wind can creep through anything. The wind blows through the trees, and the rushing sound triggers something in our minds to remind us of the threat of winter. Whether it's Old Man Winter or Mother Nature's winter side, it doesn't matter when the wind is biting at your cheeks. With the wind rustling the pines above, you take solace knowing that you don't have to sleep here, that you have a car or a home to retreat to, but it swings your mind to our wildlife and how incredibly hardy they must be to endure these temperatures for months at a time. With these thoughts, I left the shaded forest for some time at the iconic visitor center. Arrival in the parking lot, which is mismatched as massive piles of snow have closed off more than half of it, I'm taken back to my childhood memories of visiting, being blown away by the building and the excitement of racing through the exhibits to see the animals and the artifacts. This building houses so much more than information and stuffed moose. It holds memories and feelings of being a happy kid with friends and family, one that I hope I can extend to my kids. A massive elevated deck on the rear of the building holds you high above a valley. In the winter, they fill the surrounding area with bird feeders and it attracts many northern species. While these fluctuate year to year, it's always a treat to watch the birds enjoy the buffet of free seeds. Today was slow, with not many migratory finches. That didn't, however, mean there was nothing to see. With a long lens, it's fun to make abstract images of trees kilometers away and hundreds of feet below you. The winter snow and ice making the bog look like a sparse forest. The images are striking and thought-provoking, an image I have created before, but one I find hard to pass up. As the sun waned in the sky, creeping ever closer to its daily slumber, the wildlife would enjoy its presence with their last effort before the cold would strengthen under the stars. A drive to the Costello Creek is always a good idea in any season, but in the depths of winter it can be especially inviting. The creek finds some areas where it is rare to freeze, providing a blank canvas with life and accessibility. The creek provides a home to many species, but one of the most exciting would be another from the weasel family, the river otter. This massive weasel is at home in the frigid waters, diving below the ice, always knowing where the next hole in the ice will be. This day was no exception, as a large otter navigated the hidden waterway with 4 unexpected safety holes. Impossible to track under a blanket of snow and ice, brief glances were had as it expertly traversed the winding creek. A fun encounter with an exciting animal. I feel we both said goodbye to the day during this encounter, as the sun slowly dipped below the tree line. Out by the creek, alone, with no one in sight, the cold intensified and the dark began. The wind picked up and I knew it was time to retreat back to the vehicle and its manufactured warmth. A thought crossing my calm brain about the cold and the solitude it provides. The cold, while tough to navigate, has a partner in crime. A partner that allows one to embrace the cold and our incredible outdoor world. The lack of warmth and solitude go hand in hand, each providing for the other. If one is bold enough and prepared enough, it allows for solitude to be received and enjoyed. The cold, creating a barrier for ill-equipped or mentally weak individuals, then provides a space with little to no people, a prerequisite for solitude. The two feed off each other and allow a winter hike or adventure to be purely spiritual, an experience of calm and quiet. Apart from the winter winds and the blowing evergreens, little life means little noise. The winter forest can be a quiet one, especially amidst falling snow. The quiet again breeds solitude and allows us to truly experience and live in the moment. It allows us to appreciate the plants and animals that excel in the winter, like the bouncing martin or the robust Canada jay. It allows us to slow our thoughts and relax, breathing in the cold, fresh air of the northern landscape. Cold and solitude, a beautiful pair. After arriving back at the truck and gaining blood flow back to my toes, it was time to leave this place. Leave the solitude while taking a sliver of it home with me. The drive back allowed the tail end of the sunset to turn the sky into orange, purple, and pink. Along the twists and turns of Highway 60, small clouds made the sky resemble cotton candy, my mind immediately drifting back to thoughts of my 2 kids, back to reality and life with less solitude, but more warmth.